Hello captains, and welcome back to my Let's Play series on the Romulan Faction as a Reman character. In the last mission, we had leveled up close to level 40. Well, I went ahead and did some stuff off screen, including I actually did a KDF Starbase incursion thing, and have made myself level 40. And then I went and did a bunch of upgrading stuff. So that's what this video is all about. This video is simply about all the upgrades I've made to my character now that I am level 40 and can have Mark 10 level stuff. So there will be no missions played in this video today. I may go ahead and do a Starbase fleet alert thing just to show you the ship in combat. But this video is going to be all about the ship build that I have going for this ship at level 40, Mark 10 gear. I'm going to go over my space build and my ground build. So I'm just going to show you all the updates I have on the character. And all these updates I have right now is going to carry me through to level 50. I'm pretty much not going to make any more changes or change ship until level 50. So my next ship will not be until level 50, even though we're going to be Sub-Admiral 2 at level 45. We become what's called Sub-Admiral 2. But I'm not going to change ship at that point. Alright, so the first thing to do is to show you the ship that I chose. Now, this is a little confusing, and I'm actually not sure what tier to call the current ship we have. So if you recall, the previous ship we had was called the Arcala. I got that in the Z store. You go to ships, and it was a tier 4 ship. Here it is, Arcala, Tactical Warbird, tier 4. Okay, tier 4 starship. Had no problem using that ship because at that level, level 30, is your tier 4 starship. Well, here we are at level 40, and you would think that it would be time for a tier 5 starship. However, for some reason, I am not able to fly a tier 5 starship. I go to tier 5, for example, and let's just say this one here, the Arkeef Tactical Carrier Warbird Retrofit. Your character cannot use this item. Tier 5, your character cannot use this item. What is the lowest rank? It needs to be Vice Admiral. So what the heck is Vice Admiral level 5 stuff? Vice Admiral, reminder, is level 50. So Sub-Admiral doesn't really have a tier of ships. It goes from tier 4 to tier 5, but I guess tier 4 is supposed to last you from 30 to 40 and 40 to 50. And then at 50 is your Vice Admiral tier 5 ship. At least that's what I'm getting out of the Z store. If I go to any Romulan ship, it doesn't matter what Romulan ship I go to, everything says I cannot use this item at tier 5 until I'm Vice Admiral. So I could not choose a tier 5 Z store Romulan ship. So I had to figure out what's going on. So let's go to the ship and shuttle requisitions, and I'll show you which ships are available. It's a little odd. I'm not really sure what to make of it. I'm a little confused still. So if anybody has answers about why it works this way, please let me know. But you would think I'd be able to use tier 5 ships now at level 40. But, oops, wrong thing. When I go here, acquire ships. So I go to what we were before Sub-Admiral, we were Commander, right? This is our tier 4 stuff right here. You had the Dideridex, the Arkeef, and of course I had the Arcala, which is the Arkeef's cousin. So that's tier 4, right? That's Commander level. That's tier 4, okay? When I go to Sub-Admiral 1, which is what I am now, you would think that would be tier 5 starships. But here's what's available at tier 5. Hapox, Advanced Warbird, Hanam, Hafe, Dinos, Warbird Destroyer, Obelisk Carrier. These are the ships available to me at Sub-Admiral, but for some reason it doesn't line up with what's in the Z store. And to make matters even more confusing, the ship that I ended up using, which is the Hafe, uses quad cannons, just like the Tier 4 version. So remember the Arcala I had, the previous ship I just had? It had the quad plasma cannons. Remember that? Well, so does the Hafeh. That's the unique thing about it right here. Plasma quad cannons. Exact same weapon. Now, when that happens, that usually indicates that's the same tier ship. So this would be technically a Tier 4 ship. Even though I should be at Tier 5, but I can't fly Tier 5 to Vice Admiral. I'm just totally confused. I mean, to me, what it looks like is happening is the Sub-Admiral 1 ships, when you select them right here in ship requisitions, are more like Tier 4.5 ships. They're like half a tier up. But the Tier 5 ships, I won't even be able to fly until I'm level 50, and they're in the Z store. So even at level 40, I can't fly the Tier 5 ships. I can't fly them until I'm level 50. So I can't Tier 5 if I go to a Vice Admiral. There's the Tier 5 ships. So I guess the Sub-Admiral 1 ships available from the ship and shuttle requisitions are actually 4.5. Like, that's what I would think of them as. So you've got Tier 4 and then Tier 4.5 and then Tier 5. I'm like right in the middle between Tier 4 and Tier 5. I can't fly the Z-Store Tier 5 ships yet, but I can fly these, which are different than the Commander ships. I couldn't fly these ships when I was Commander, but now that I've leveled up to 40, which is Sub-Admiral 1, level 40, and it even says new ship right there. These are the ships, but it's not Tier 5. See, that's confusing, because when I had the previous ship, it was definitely Tier 4. And so you would think when you hit 40 and it says new ship for you, that would be Tier 5. But it's not. It's this special category of ships that's between 4 and 5. So I'm going to call this a Tier 4.5 ship. And I've still got the same unique weapon that I had previously on the Arcala, the quad plasma cannon. No unique console, because this is a ship and shuttle requisition ship. It's not a Z-Store ship, so I don't even have a unique console that comes with this ship. So that's totally confusing, and I don't understand it. But here's the end of it. Here's the conclusion of it all. I'm getting a new ship at level 40. I'm using a different ship than I was using before. We've, quote, upgraded to a Hafeh assault warbird. I had choices. I had the Hapex, I had the Hanam, and here's the Hafeh. The reason why I chose the Hafeh, very, very, very tactically oriented. You'll notice the Hapox, it's got 3 tactical consoles. It maxes out at a lieutenant tactical station on a tactical. The Hanam is very science heavy, and it maxes out at a lieutenant tactical station. But the Hafeh, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4 tactical consoles, and it has a full commander tactical station. That means full tier 3 tactical abilities. So this is our finally tactically inclined, tactically escorty kind of ship I've really been looking for on this character, since I'm a tactical character and I want to fly an escort type ship on this character. This is now the closest we've ever come to having my tactically inclined escorty type ship on this character. So this is the Hafeh. I don't really know how to say it. I'm going to say Hafeh. This is the Hafeh Assault Warbird, but it's just a standard. It's not a Z-Store ship, so no unique console comes with it. But it is different than the Arcala. It's better. You can see here it's got 4 forward weapons, 3 aft, 31,000 base hull, a 0.9 shield modifier, a base turn rate of 16. That's another thing, is the turn rate on this is really good. For example, a Hapex is down at 5, a Hanam is 10, this is 16. So definitely more escorty. Let's read a little bit about it. The Hafeh Assault Warbird represents the latest developments in Romulan technology. Developed in tandem with the Hapox and Hafeh Assault Warbird, is much smaller, faster, and packs a bigger punch. The Hafeh Assault Warbird channels all available power to weapons, making it one of the deadliest warbirds at the sacrifice of some hull and shield. The Hafe Assault Warbird is equipped with a Romulan battle cloak. The cloak and device can be used in combat, but your weapon systems and shields are disabled while it's active. Plus 15 to weapon systems. Experimental weapon slot, so we finally have one of those experimental weapon slots just like an escort. It can equip dual cannons, of course, Singularity Warp Core, Romulan battle cloak. 40 base power for all subsystems. Plasma shockwave, quantum absorption, warp shadows, singularity jump, and singularity overcharge. So that is my new ship. Looks pretty cool, huh? Now I have customized the view. It's going to look different, and I'll show you how it looks. But now it does say that you can buy this with dilithium. This changed because I already own the ship. But when I did not own the ship, it used the free ship token you get at this level to attain it. So it did use a ship token. So it's an actual ship token ship. Should be able to, anybody should be able to get it, hopefully. So that's what I've got. And yeah, it is a bit confusing of what level this actually is. I think what this is maybe this is a remnant of before the previous level cap increase, tier 5 ships, and somehow this is kind of crossed over and like grandfathered in a way. I don't know, it's kind of strange. I really don't understand the tiering here of the ships. It's gotten a little confusing right here at Sub-Admiral 1. But anyway, after that will of course be a Vice Admiral 50, and I can definitely fly tier 5 ships at 50. But apparently I cannot fly tier 5 ships at 40. That ain't happening. So, let me first, before I show you the build, let me show you what I've done to the ship to make it look really cool. Customized starship. This is her right here. Check this out. This is our new ship. Now, what I've done is I have kit bashed it, you could say. I have put several pieces of different other style ships together. So I'm using the nacelles of the Hakuna Type 1. I'm using the hull of the Hakona. And I'm using the wings of the Hafe. Then I'm using the pattern Romulan Veteran 4 with the black coloring. And I'm using the veteran material skin. And the default windows and default interior. So what that has done is created this very unique looking ship. And you can see the way the wings sweep forward, and then the wings are at the top of the warp nacelles with the back extending out here. That is based on the wing type I selected, which is the Hafe, which is the default wing, but then the nacelle is the Hakuna Type 1. So if I go to the default Hafe, it would look like that warp nacelle, but I like the Hakuna Type 1. And you see you've got different kinds of warp engines based on the different types of ships here. I also like the Hapox. Let's see, no, which ones are they? I like the looks of the Hanam. That's interesting on this ship. That looks good too. And then the Hapox Type 2, that looks good on there too. But we'll go with the Hafe. That's what I had. I think that's not what I had, is it? I had the Hakuna Type 1, didn't I? Yeah, that's what we'll go with for the look I've got right now. And then of course the unique hull, Hakuna, and then the wing is Hafe. So the only default thing I have on it, Hafe, is the wings. But that creates a unique look. Otherwise, you saw what the default picture of it looked like here. This is what it looks like by default. So I just changed it up slightly. But it looks really good in space. So anyway, that's the new ship I'm flying, and I will be flying this ship all the way to level 50. So I will not be upgrading to another ship until level 50, and that will be a tier 5 ship. So our next ship upgrade will be a tier 5 ship. But for right now, it's this one, whatever tier ship it actually is. That's what I'm flying. I don't know if it's tier 4, tier 4.5, I don't know what tier it is. But that's what I'm flying. The Hafe Assault Warbird. Looks really cool. And so this is the build. Now the thing here is, somebody had sent me, and I forgot your name, I apologize, but you know who you are. You sent me a bunch of disruptor weapons for this level. Mark 10 disruptor weapons. I appreciate that. Unfortunately, I had to go with plasma once again on this build, only because this ship came with the plasma quad cannons, and I wanted to go ahead and use those and, you know, have all that, you know, dual heavy cannon ability and stuff on this ship. And so because they were plasma cannons, I decided to go with another plasma build on this ship. Now going forward, I'm not quite sure what I'll be using. Obviously we've got you know, Mark 12 gear next at level 50, and we'll be able to upgrade that of course even higher. And I'm not really sure what energy type I'm going to end up going with. I have not decided yet. I have to start thinking now about what reputations I want to put my resources into when I hit level 50 or the reputations open up. I've got to think about what my, you know, a good escorty final build is. I know the Iconian set is wonderful for an escort. I mean, I have that on one of my characters. Iconian set works great on a tactical character with an escorty type ship. So I know that. I just don't know if if that's what I want to go with on this character. I don't know if I want to do something different. And I don't know what energy type I'm going to end up with in the future. I really don't know. I know this. My next space set, when I'm able to use Mark 12 stuff, is going to be the Aegis. I've already purchased all the Aegis parts. So I've got the Aegis deflector, the Aegis shield, and the Aegis hyper impulse engine. And that's important because that's going to take me through until I figure out whatever reputation I'm going to be using, you know, as my final build. So I don't know what energy type I'm going to go along with that quite yet. Plasma, I mean, I could. It just seems very cliche. Disruptor, I mean, I could. Maybe disruptor, maybe a coalition disruptor build. I mean, that is like the best thing for an escort right now. I mean, if you can get, you know, some really good coalition weapons, coalition disruptor. So maybe I will go down the disruptor path in the future. Maybe that's the best for me. In fact, I could use suggestions on what my final build should be. Energy type and reputation and, you know, all that set up. What do you think I should go into? Because I don't know at this point where I'm going to end up. But I just know for this build, all the way from 40 to 50, level 40 to 50, we are definitely going to use this plasma build. So, I've got the plasma quad cannons up front. I've got plasma dual heavy cannons up front, Mark 10, very rare. I got a plasma torpedo up front. Look at that, crit D times 3 on that. I am using a positron deflector, improves shield healing, starship maximum hit points, shield hit points, and improves control effects and resistance. I am using a prototype gravitic modulation impulse engine. I purchased this from the exchange. I believe it's a mission reward in one of the missions, but I just went ahead and got it anyway because it has a good flight turn rate and a good flight speed on it for my ship. I also went ahead and used the plasma integrated singularity core. I've got seeing a wave and weapons cap, 100% power transfer rate on that thing, and a weapon power buff. And to target 20% chance of disable one subsystem. I'm using a covariant shield. I wanted very rare, but I couldn't find one, so I just got this rare with cap times 2. It'll be good enough for now. I've got in the aft, I've got all plasma turrets. And there was not a very rare, again, ran out, so there was this rare version. So I got 2 rare items instead of very rare, but that's just because that's all that was available. If a very rare comes along the way, maybe I'll put one on there, but otherwise, I'm fine with the rares. My experimental weapon. This ship comes with the experimental hyper-excited ion stream projector. So that's what I'll be using. I know there are other things out there, but that's what I have access to on this ship, and I don't know if I have access to the other ones. I have... Yeah, I only have the hyper-excited ion, so I don't have, like, Voice of the Prophets and the other one yet. I think I have to unpack the ships and stuff for that. I don't have those yet. I also have a neutronium on here to give me some all damage resistance on my ship. I did put an engine power on here because I feel my engine power is still a little low on this ship. It feels like I want to move faster. So this ship still moves a little slow for me. So that engine power setting helps. And then I put an RCS on here as well. Again, just to have a really, like I said, I want a really fast escorty ship. So that's what I'm building for. I got a maximum shield capacity on here. And again, this ship did not come with a unique console. So what I'm using is a console from another ship that I had in the past. So this is the Singularity Inverter. It absorbs directed energy damage and turns it into damage resistance and shield resistance, and it builds one base singularity per incoming hit. So I'm using that. And then of course my tactical console is all filled up with plasma energy weapon damage. That's the basic build. And I think it's a good build to get me from level 40 to 50. In terms of my stations, obviously I've got a ton of tactical powers. I got Torpedo Spread 3. I've got beta pattern, attack pattern beta 1 for the first time on here now. Tactical team, cannon rapid fire 3, and torpedo high yield 3. So check that out. I got 3 tier 3 abilities: torp spread 3, torpedo high yield 3, and then cannon rapid fire 3. So 3 tier 3 abilities in my tactical. That is very powerful, folks. And then scatter volley 1, and then I also have back the distributed targeting 1 as well. I've got emergency power to shields. I've got emergency power to weapons and an engineering team, science team 2, and hazard emitters to help heal me. That is my space powers. And I think again that's going to get me through level 40 to 50 very easily on here. My traits I have also set. Now these kept going out on me. I noticed in my last video, between my last video and this one, my traits like disappeared on me. It was weird. They like all just vanished. They weren't there anymore. And that's happened to me before. Hopefully they'll actually stick. I'm actually going to have to double check every time I start a video now to make sure my traits are still there, because they seem to want to disappear. But I've basically put them into anything that's doing damage or critical chance or critical severity, or like you know, cannon training and stuff like that. Damage, critical chance, critical severity. Anything that's tactically oriented. Same thing on ground. So that's my basic space setup. I think that's very powerful, and I think I'm going to have a very good experience with that setup right there. There's really nothing else to go over because reputations aren't open yet. I don't have specializations, obviously not open yet. Skill points. I have gone ahead and fully done defensive subsystem tuning, shield subsystem performance, and auxiliary subsystem performance, as well as offensive subsystem tuning and weapon and engine performance. So I've used all of the offensive and defensive powers. I'm not sure what I'm going to go into next. Obviously not exotic particles. I don't know if fixing the long-range targeting sensors is worth it or not, or maybe hull penetration or shield penetration. Maybe one of those. I'll probably go into hull and shield penetration, because again we're all about tactical abilities. If you see here, I've got like nothing in science. Everything's in engineering and tactical, like equally. But that's the goal I'm going for with this build. I want a very powerful build on this thing. And of course I haven't changed anything. I still have retrain tokens, so if you guys see places that I can improve here in my skills, I can retrain and fix that in the future. But I think right now it's going pretty good, so we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and start putting them, I guess, into hull penetration and then shield penetration next. Now, for my ground stuff, obviously, I had to upgrade my ground abilities as well. I am able to use Mark 10 stuff, so of course I've got a Mark 10 tactical kit on here with armor, weapon crit, and weapon damage. I upgraded my neutronium-laced combat armor to Mark 10. I've got a Mark 10 ultra-rare shield. Look at that, cap ×2, reg, and rev. My weapon is auto leveling, so I don't have to worry about that. I've got all Mark 10 kit modules. I did an overhaul on all my kit modules. So I've got Rally Cry Mark 10, I got Plasma Grenade Mark 10, I got Battle Strategies Mark 10. I've got a couple of new things I'm going to try. I've got some universal modules on here now. I've got Isolation Field Generator. It's a stealth plus damage to allies in range. Creates an isolation field generator for 30 seconds. You get a stealth buff and a plus 20% bonus all damage for a short duration after leaving stealth. And then I have a stabilized folded space transporter. It's a self-teleport. You get a plus crit chance and crit severity, and you placate your target, and it teleports you behind your target. So that should be interesting. I want to try those out. I've never used them before, so I figured, hey, let's give it a shot. So my modules are all updated. Everything's all Mark 10. And then, of course, on my bridge officers, my ground bridge officers, everything's Mark 10 on them as well. Mark 10 armor, Mark 10 shield, and I've upgraded their weapons to Mark 10. It's all kind of random modifiers and stuff on there right now, but that's not really that important for right now. And thank you to the person, by the way, that gave me all the armor and shields. I used all of them on my ground bridge officers, so thank you to you. I have used your gear for that. So all of them are upgraded to Mark 10 stuff. So here's my abilities down here. I've got my target optics, I've got my rally cry battle strategy, my grenade, and all my other stuff. And here's my unique consoles. Can't wait to use them. Security team, all of that's down there. My weapon. So I'm pretty much ready to go. Yep, that's my basic build there. Let's go up into space and check my powers and everything, and I'll show you my build in space, and then we'll go do a Klingon fleet alert, and that way you can kind of see this ship in battle. Here she is. See what I mean about the engine speed? It seems a little low to me. I wish I could be moving faster at impulse. But the turn on it is incredible. With that RCS console, that turn, look at that. I'm like drifting and turning. So having all these cannons definitely works well with that turn rate. So very impressed by the turn rate. Not so impressed with my impulse speed. I feel I should be moving faster, but my engine power is still only 32. Of course, we're still level 40. We're still like not max level or anything, so I know that will increase in the future. But right now, by the time I get to level 50, it'll probably feel okay, but right now it seems a little slow to me. The turn rate's incredible, but the actual speed is a little slow to me, even with that engine power. Now I can mitigate that because I have Alpha. I've got Attack Pattern Alpha 3, so that will help me fly faster and turn more. Look at that. Look at that. Look how I'm turning now. I'm just like drifting in one spot. Attack Pattern Beta. Of course, I do have evasive maneuvers to also move faster, and I've also got Singularity Weapons Capacitor. That gives me a weapon power buff. I've got Cloaking, of course. Here's that console I have on, Singularity Inverter. I've got Go Down Fighting now. I have basically all my bridge officer abilities here, ready to go. Here's where my DPS levels currently are. The quad cannon is doing 1169 DPS and 974 plasma damage. The dual heavy cannons are doing 1118 DPS and 1397 plasma. This one's doing 1144 DPS. The torpedo is doing 430 DPS and 3447 kinetic damage and 1560 plasma damage over 10 seconds. The turrets are doing 582 DPS, 485 plasma. The hyper excited ion thingy is going to do 2174 electrical damage. So of course if I buff my weapons, like if I do alpha and my energy power, I will really buff my weapons. So for example, my dual cannon here is 1118 DPS. I can go that, and I can go that. And now it's 1806 DPS and 2257. The quad cannon is up at 1889 DPS. So you can see that I'm able to buff my weapon power and weapons a lot more to get more weapon damage out of them. My other stats, I've got a stealth detection rating of 9.50. Power transfer rate is a whopping 300%. I'm very happy about that. My defense rating is 68.1. My hull is 32,394. My shields are about 7,500. Not very high. 30% resists. 6.5% critical chance. 61% critical severity. And my turn rate is an incredible 33.6 degrees per second. Now that's what I call awesome. And just look how beautiful the ship looks. It flies very well. And it looks awesome. It looks like it's ready to kill. Now, while all that is my starship upgrades, there's one more thing I need to talk about. My shuttle. That's right, I have a new shuttle, and I have upgraded it, and I have new gear on it, and it's Mark 10 gear. So here's the deal, folks. I read your comments, and there were a lot of comments questioning why I did not use my Scorpion fighter in the previous mission where I had to use a shuttle. Why I chose the runabout. My thinking there with the runabout was that it had a bit of a higher hull strength, and I would stay alive longer in a mission like that. But a lot of you reminded me the Scorpion fighter has cannons, and maybe, just maybe, that would have been a little bit better. So I have heard your call, and I have changed my shuttle, and I am using for the first time a Scorpion fighter. And it is called the Little Hand, whereas my ship is the Hand of Omega. My ship shuttle is the Little Hand. Check it out. Here's the Little Hand. So it is a Scorpion fighter, and as you can see, I also customized it with the colorings, my veteran colorings, and other things. So it looks unique. And I might have taken a weapon off of there. Plasma. I might have taken the plasma quad cannons off of the thing. Well, I'll put them back on when I need to. But anyway, this should have plasma quad cannons. I think I took them off because I had like 2 sets of them. Anyway, this should have plasma quad cannons on it and a plasma torpedo Mark 10. And then I've got a Mark 10 positron deflector array and a Mark 10 impulse and a Mark 10 Thoron infused singularity core with EPS and overload. And I have a Mark 10 shield on there with capacity and reg. I've got my red matter, and I have a neutronium for resistance, and I have plasma tactical consoles Mark 10, very rare on this one. So it's ready to go. This shuttle is ready to do some damage. So when we do a shuttle mission, which I think is going to be the next mission we do, I now have a very powerful shuttle. And I think maybe the plasma cannons will auto-engage when I select shuttle as default. I might have to look into that before we do the next video, but let me just check real quick. If we go down to like the shuttle bay here, and I go to my ship selections, and we do active small craft, yeah, see what it did? It automatically transferred my plasma quad cannons, to my shuttle. So now I can beam up and I'll be in my shuttle and have my quad cannons. So it puts them, it'll auto, what's the word for it? It'll auto put on. It'll auto put on my stuff. I don't know what to say. Yeah, there they are. So, no, there they are. So yeah, I've got plasma quad cannons now ready to go on my shuttle. So here we go. Yeah, here they are. 1005 DPS, 837 plasma damage. So here's my shuttle. And I've got all my buttons set exactly where I want them. I have this ability called Energy Weapon Singularity Overcharge. That's going to give me increased firing cycle speed. So those quad cannons, more haste. Love that. I've got Alpha. I've got a torpedo, high yield 1. I got a cloaking device on the on this battle cloak on this ship. So this little shuttle here is now ready to go. I got a torpedo and the quad cannons. So that's going to be good. I can easily switch between the two ships. And the quad cannons will put themselves where they need to go automatically, basically. So that's very cool. I like the way that works. I'm able to switch in and out of my ship and everything is set. Now go back to my starships. And everything should be just the way I left it. I like that. So now I've got a very solid, yeah, perfect. And there's my quad cannons right there ready to go. So I like that right there. That's going to give me the ability to go between starship and shuttle real easily and have a really nice build on both of them for the future. So there you go, Scorpion Fighter setup. I've never flown one before, so this will be a first time when I use it. But I'm happy about that to try it out. Okay, let's queue up for... See, I can't queue up for many things here. Let's do a Klingon fleet alert. Maybe this will pop real quickly. Hopefully it will. But I want to do this and just show you this ship in combat. That way you get a feel for her and you can see what she's capable of. And then, of course, we'll take her in to do some real missions in the next video. But, yeah, I want to do this here now. No telling how long this is going to take this queue to go, but hey, we've already got 4 people here. Maybe this will go real quickly. So I'll wait just a little bit and see what happens here. Remember, I'm still aligned with the KDF. So anything I do is KDF related. Klingon Defense Force. So when we go to protect our starbase, we're protecting the Klingon starbase. That turn rate is so good on this ship. It's just my movement speed that I feel is a little slow, but maybe that'll get better as the as our rank increases. Oh, we've gone down to 3. Well, there's no telling how long this is going to take. You guys know how these queues go. So what I'm going to do is I will pause the video now, and then once this pops and we get into the fleet alert here, I will resume the recording on this. That way you won't have to wait. So stand by. I'll be right back. And welcome back, everybody. I am back. It's actually the next day. Guess what? I waited an entire hour and a half last night for this to pop, and it never did. I never could get in a queue of this fleet alert. So I waited. I said the heck with it. I went to bed, and here we are the next day, and I am now finally finishing this video because I really wanted to show you guys this ship in combat before we go do all the missions and stuff, just to round out this video. So this is, of course, KDF Fleet Alert, and it's a level 50 Fleet Alert, and I am, of course, only level 40, so it sets me at level 50 for this, but obviously my gear and powers and everything are behind what a level 50 player would be. But anyway, we're going to do this. So here we go. Check that out. Of course, with that RCS, my turn rate is just insanely incredible. But my speed is slow. See how I'm like, it feels like I'm flying so slow. But powerful though, very powerful. I do have to watch out, however. Whoa, that hurt, that hurt. Still have to watch my hull strength and all that, especially on this hard-hitting one right here that we're on, but yeah, I gotta watch all that out, but you can see that I can deal a lot of damage. Of course, I haven't even utilized my cloak yet, so we'll go ahead and do that. So here comes the last group already. After this one. Those ships are so far away. I think they're going to spawn like right on top of me here.
Congratulations, Admiral.
And now we're level 41 already. I don't know why I'm passing on all this gear. I should be taking it so I can turn it into stuff. Just take all that loot. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up this remaining loot because I am salvaging these items so that I can do re-engineering on things later on. Oh, I didn't mean to do greed. Oops. Okay. So that shows you guys how good this ship is. This was a pretty tough run for this ship because again I was only level 40 and this is really a level 50 kind of mission, but still. I just wanted to show you in combat, and of course we're going to do all the missions that we have to do with this ship from level 40 to 50. So you're going to see it in more combat, but you can see I do have to watch my hull strength and my shield strength on it. That seems to be a weakness, but of course I built it that way because I want to do a lot of damage. So that's just the nature of the beast. Let's go back to New Romulus because we'll start from there for our next mission. And so far, I have to say this is my most favorite ship for this character that I'm playing. It is tactically inclined. It fits right in there with the kind of ship that I wanted to have on the Romulan side. A very escorty kind of Warbird situation. So I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. But now we're level 41. And we'll be starting a new mission series called Freedom. This one is going to be interesting. This one's called Freedom. This one was a featured episode series that came out later in the game, years after it was released. So this was its own like featured episode series back in the day that they released. So this will be a lot of fun. It is the same on KDF or Federation side. So this is one of those shared storylines that the Romulans get to play only because it's also on the Fed side and the KDF side exactly the same. So this is one of those series that's, you know, duplicated between all the factions. But anyway, we'll play it here on the Romulan faction, and that'll be fun. So thank you all for watching this video. Tell me what you think of this ship down below. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next one.